Welcome to Boy of Bit Crypto, home of the BitSquad, the Squad of Bit, that is, the Squad of Bit, the largest and greatest community in all of crypto, in all the interwebs. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in crypto. If you like money in crypto, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Guys, what about Bitcoin this weekend? Didn't do anything too bad. It's been hovering around kind of the same range. What's really interesting is, as you continue to see all of the FUD stories that are coming out, left and right, we're getting FUD stories. What's happening with the price? Literally nothing. These are the last scare tactics of those manipulating the market and manipulating the media narratives, which I'm telling you guys, we've got a gigantic video on Digital Currency Group coming out this week, and it is going to be phenomenal. If you want to know what's going on with that, and we're uncovering information we can't even put out yet. We'll have a follow-up video of that down the road where we'll, look guys, when you start digging into this, it is bad stuff. So we'll dig a lot more into that. And I got invited to do a podcast, or not a podcast, a town hall on Sirius XM, which I don't know if we're going to do, with Michael Sonnenschein of Greyscale, and the Mooch as well. I don't know, kind of sketchy, you ask me. All of a sudden, we start pounding Digital Currency Group and talking about what a scam Greyscale is, and all of a sudden, now I get invited to go talk to them. Kind of weird, isn't it? I don't know. So we'll see what happens, but they can't be happy with us putting out this information, because when you really understand what's going on in the world of crypto and how everything is interconnected, it seems to be almost just as sleazy as anything else. But that doesn't mean we can't make money with it, am I right? Am I right? Who likes to make money? So guys, I think we said goodbye to TJ on Friday, as you guys know. We let TJ go. Are you here, TJ?
I'm here.
Oh, he's back, guys. Yeah. He's back. He was never let go. Can't fire TJ. I tried once. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, DZ taking over this week full-time on Around the Blockchain, correct?
Yep.
That is right. DZ will be Around the Blockchain full-time this week. So we got a lot of exciting stuff, guys. God, my screen is so dark. I want a full light screen all the time if it's lit. I think that's because Elron can barely stay awake in the morning, so he comes in, he doesn't like the bright light shining in his eyes.
Yeah, well, it's pitch black in here except for that screen.
Except for that screen, that's all it is. So how many people we got watching today?
We got about 700 right now on YouTube. So.
6,700 on YouTube. Welcome to our Theta viewers. Welcome to our Twitch viewers. Welcome also to our TikTok viewers. Going to be trying some different routes on TikTok here pretty soon if you guys are watching that. No, TJ was not fired. That was a joke. Because everybody thought he was leaving last week because he's getting off Around the Blockchain, but he's still here. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the video. First and foremost, 1.13 million subscribers. We're about to take up to 1.14 here pretty soon, next couple of days. Don't forget, follow us on Twitter. We're almost at 450,000. You might be the 450,000th follower as we try to get to 5 million total followers across all the Bit Squad. We're at, I think, almost 4.8 right now, or maybe, I think we're close to that. So almost 4.8 million. So we're getting there pretty quickly. You guys make sure to click the Gleam link, head on over, and make sure to follow us on Twitch, join our text community, our new subreddit. You guys make sure you get all your entries there. And if you guys ever want to know some of the stuff we talk about, you want to get some great deals, you guys can head on over to bitboycrypto.com/deals. We got a new TradingView deal if you want to sign up for a plan on TradingView, get a premium. We'll be doing, I don't know, maybe a video or a segment on that down the road. Now, to all of our viewers, how many likes did you say we have?
We have 7,300 watching, 1,569 likes.
Okay, guys, I'm going to make a bold declaration. Even though it's only less than 1,500, I think we get to 5,000 likes today.
Yep.
We definitely need that. If you guys could, go ahead, do us a favor, smash the like button. It really helps the algorithm for more people to see this. You guys know YouTube has been working against, showing us on their recommended pages and things like that. So doing that, I would rather you like the video than send me a tip or send me money. We don't even accept that stuff. Now, you can send super chats, helps your super chat get seen. But the biggest contribution you can make to our channel is liking the video. So if you're watching on mobile, make sure to X out of the live chat, hit the like button, and you go back into the live chat. If you're on a smart TV, bottom left hand of the screen, make sure that you click more actions on that part of the screen, and then hit react, and then like the video. All right, here we go. Checking out the markets. Coming in today, $1.389 trillion. Bitcoin coming in $33,500. But look at that volume. $58 billion. This is the lowest I think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it's really low.
At least during this bull run, for sure. Bitcoin dominance up a little bit, 45.2%. We got your ETH gas coming in at 17 Paraguays. We got Bitcoin coming in 33,472 right now. Ethereum holding tough, $2,100. Both are down for the week. Ethereum down almost 5% for the last 7 days. We got Bitcoin like this. To me, if you're asking like what's going on with this market, to me, this number right here, 0.2% change in the last 7 days. Like, to me, that tells you everything you need to know. I heard a new phrase today I had not heard. A crab market. We're in a crab market right now, you know, because a crab moves sideways. Is this a crab?
Close enough.
Yeah, very close. I've never had pets that were crabs. I've never had crabs before, so very excited about that. But this is a crab market moving sideways, and I mean, when you look at the Bitcoin chart, as we will here in a few minutes, I mean, it really has been stale. And guys, also don't forget we have our new segment every day, 5-minute Q&A. If you guys could go ahead and start thinking about some questions that we can get to here in a little bit. Hey, Ben, I'm new. First year crypto. Was volume ever this low during the bear market? I'll answer that question now. Volume was much lower than this in the bear market. Much lower because the numbers were not, it was already extremely low. If we come here and we look at the volume, and let's just look over the last, that's the market cap. We got the volume at the bottom. It's kind of hard to track. But if you look here at where the volume is now, let's see if I can go. Let's do, well, I guess you have to do all, unfortunately. I can drag it. This will put it in perspective. So let's go back to the 2017 bull run ended in 2018. You guys look at the volume and you can see it doesn't even really register. Like the volume doesn't even register down here. That's how low it was. Unfortunately, I don't think I can actually, it won't, there's the volume. Okay, so volume 82. So let's go back to here. I mean, look, in 2019, volume was 21 billion, 20 billion, 10 billion, 9 billion, 8 billion. Looks like 8 was probably the low. No, look at that. 5 billion, 6 billion. So you had a lot of days where hardly anything was happening. But the market now is way bigger. So because the market is way bigger now, you know, the numbers aren't going to drop as low. So Chesapeake crabs are next level. Wow. Never gotten crabs there either. So, okay, let's go back. Let's look at the biggest gainers of the day real quick. Biggest gainers of the day, not much. Synthetic's still pumping, up to $13 almost. Wow. There's a big story about Synthetics. They've got their layer 2 that is coming. OKB, Cello, Telcoin, all up. EOS, Litecoin, Dash. But Ravain up 12.4% is the biggest mover of the day. So let's move. Let's do some Q&A. Which also, guys, to our English fans. I know you guys over in the UK, you love this channel, and we appreciate you all. I was cheering for y'all. No offense to Italy. I was cheering for England, and very sad to see y'all lost. So, what, were you just cheering against England, Brian?
I was cheering against England, yes.
Cheering against England, Brian was. Wow.
Beat Denmark.
They did beat Denmark. He was cheering against them. So,
real quick before we get into the T&A
Yeah.
or the Q&A, somebody was asking if we're looking for any interns. We could be potentially in the next month or two if you're local here in the Atlanta, Kennesaw area. But we are still looking for another editor. So if you have Premiere, Adobe Premiere experience, and you wanted to send something to writing at bitboycrypto.com, a video submission of a type of video that shows your editing skills, we would definitely like to talk to you or anybody that has that. We've got that meetup on, is it
Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
Yep.
So
yeah, we have our meetup Thursday. What's it called? Brews?
Battle and Brew, I believe it's in Marietta.
Sandy Springs.
Sandy Springs.
Yeah, Sandy Springs. Brian, they really want me to fire you. I've got a lot of comments to fire you in the chat. Guys, look, I'm partial to England. I got heritage back there, I guess. You know, I don't have any heritage in Italy, but hey, I am getting an Italian sports car this month or next month, so very excited about that. All right, any questions?
All right, guys, we got to get to questions.
There's no questions.
Everybody's mad at Brian.
Everybody's mad at Brian. Yeah, well, it's no good. I guess the Q&A section is dead. I guess we had
hold on.
Q&A questions. Anybody wants to?
Mantis on Twitch, you said the market will eventually drop around 85%. Do we take gains and hold until the next bull run, or how do you play it?
Yeah, so this is one of the biggest questions that we get, obviously. Somebody asked about the meetup time. Come back to that. You want to just say the time real quick?
7 to 10, I believe.
7 to 10. 7 to 10. So here's kind of the thing. There's really no advantage of holding majority of crypto when the market drops 85%. We don't think it's dropping 85% from here. We don't think it's dropping 85% from $64,000. By the middle of this month, in the next 2 weeks, sometime in the next 2 weeks, we are going to see the market turn, and it's going to go back up, and we will make a new all-time high before the end of this year, somewhere around $100,000, I believe. I'm getting a Lamborghini STO. I'd be here this month or next month. But anyway, so we believe we're making a new all-time high. When we do make a new all-time high, let's just say it's $100,000, we believe it will drop 85% from there, which I believe the math on that would make it $15,000, I think. But percentages going down doesn't always line up exactly like that, I don't think. But at a nice round number, I think it would work. So around $15,000 after it goes to $100,000. So that'll be much crazier than $64,000 to $30,000. But we do believe that's what will happen because it's what we've always seen. So during that time, you want to take profits on the way up, and then you want to sell out of whatever you want to sell out of. But there's certainly an amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP and Cardano that we will not be getting rid of no matter what. So.
Living Legend, how do you join BitSquad Elite text channel? Do you have to send a message to the number? So yeah, just text that number and you'll automatically be added in. Easy peasy.
Yep.
Will yous tell us when the bear market is, or will we just know it when it is?
Yeah, I will make an official declaration on when I believe the bear market begins. Which, look, everything I'm hearing lines up with September. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on in September. I've been told about some stuff going on behind the scenes in the government, which will also probably lead to, around that time, we have a big jobs report that's due right there in September. We also have, that's the end of quarter 3. So we do know quarter 2, we saw a massive drop at the end. The end of quarter 1, we saw a massive drop at the end. Would make sense that at the end of quarter 3, we also get a massive drop, and that would probably lead to the actual bear market.
Sharp Claw UK on Twitch. Grayscale unlocking might hurt the BTC price for a week or so. Thoughts?
Anyone who's telling you that doesn't know, because the fact is we don't know how that's going to affect. Because of when most of those were bought, those people are actually not in profit right now, and so it would make sense for them to dump when they're not in profit. But there's also motivation for people to buy actual Bitcoin to kind of hedge what they have there. We've seen people saying it's going to crash, it's going to pump. Because we're seeing both angles here, I think it's going to be a big nothing burger. I don't think the market will move much more. There may be an hour or two where we get some kind of fireworks one way or the other, but I don't think it's going to be a significant move one way or the other, honestly. I think by the end of this week, things will be going up, and I don't think that'll stop it.
This is one we hear all the time. Any chance the whales and institutions won't allow an 85% correction this time around? So something different will happen?
They're the ones that do it.
There you go.
Like, they're the ones that do it. It's not that they don't allow it. If you understand the way markets work, it's all psychological. The tops are always led by retail investors. That's why you have what we call the blow off top, where things go straight up to the top, and then the whales and the institutions, they sell, okay? And you are who they're selling to. They're selling to the retail investor, and that's what leads to the parabolic run-up at the end. They want that to happen. The whales are in the long game. They don't mind losing money short term because of the value of Bitcoin to accumulate more Bitcoin, because ultimately they know the prices are going up. So Matthew Gabori with a super chat, thoughts on ADAX, a Cardano DEX. I don't know much about that one. Do you know anything about it?
Nope.
I don't know anything about it, but I do know Cardano DEXs will be big.
Do you know anything about Polka City?
Were we supposed to do a video with them and we just never did it?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think we did. I don't know anything about it.
There's another one, File or AVAX.
Somebody said, wait, go back. What did I say? I said mid-July, now September. No, mid-July is when things start to go back up. September is when it's over, to be clear on that. I saw a couple of people asking about that one. For the Q&A, what do you guys think about applying for IDOs in the bear market? Well, here's the thing. You're not ever in a bear market going to get as large returns as you would in a bull run, okay? I would say tread very lightly with investing in IDOs. I'll tell you, our IDO and our private sale investing strategy is we are already at this point in the year looking at slowing those down and not doing many more of those because we're putting it. Let's say we put $20,000 into a project now, and we get 20% of the tokens up front, and then we get the other 80% spread out over the next year. Well, if we don't make the money back and make profit on that first 20% in the bull run, by the time the bear market hits and we receive more of the tokens, we may actually lose money. So you got to be thinking about the market cycles, how it relates to those IDOs. Engine accumulate for next bull run. I mean, sure, Engine's a good coin. I don't have any specific thoughts on. I would say be looking at Efinity, which is a project we're invested in. That is the Engine cousin, if you will. It's by the same people that brought you Engine. It is an NFT marketplace and a cross-chain protocol for NFTs built on Polkadot. So this is the same. It's the Engine team. It's the same team. So I would say check that one out.
Thoughts on the XRP and Flare integration imminent and taking over?
To be honest with you, I don't know that to really like XRP. I don't know that much about Flare. I mean, I remember when they did the airdrop. I think it was like a fork or something. But I'll tell you this: in all the conversations I'm having about Ripple with high level people, Flare don't ever come up. Flare's not something that I hear mentioned. So to me, it's not something I really feel like investigating a lot more. So, yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Let's move on. Here we go.
The chart.
Yeah, check out the chart here. What is this here? Bitcoin wallet sizes. These are Bitcoin wallet sizes. We looked at this chart a while back. These are wallets with over 1,000 Bitcoin. You guys can see the orange is the blue is the price. And this is something that we've seen is that while the wallets that are going from 10,000, or excuse me, the wallets, these are wallets that hold over 1,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Right? And they're going down. The ones that hold between 10 and 1,000, they're going up. So to me, that says a lot of these bigger wallets are diversifying into different wallets, I think. Yeah. So, and this is the balance on all exchanges of Bitcoin. You guys can see that we did hit a high back in May, and now it is shrinking. So there's now less Bitcoin on exchanges, which is always a bullish thing. So that if you think it's supply and demand, if there's less of the supply and the same demand, then the value should go up. So what is BitBoy looking at when he's answering questions?
TV screen.
So just so here, we'll give you all some behind the scenes here. So you guys know how this works. My camera is right there. That's my camera. Over here is a TV where I see myself. And underneath that is the Twitch chat. And on here is the YouTube chat. So I'm not always looking directly at the camera, but I'm looking at a screen that's got a lot of stuff on it. So that's what I'm looking at. So you guys, mostly I'm looking at myself, though. I mean, I can't lie to you.
Well, and once we get moved, we're going to get it lined up a little better.
Yeah, we should be moving pretty soon.
Yeah,
so.
Very soon. Bobby's over there right now.
Wow, big news. All right, so here we go. Let's check out the Bitcoin chart, see what's going on with it. This is the daily chart for Bitcoin. Once again, you guys can see here when we had this red diamond, has not really led to much action. If you look at the daily chart over the last 3 days, look how meh that thing looks. Golly, I hate that thing. Like, I mean, it's not doing anything right now, but today should be, a kind of bullish day. But one thing I'm noticing is look how tight that EMA range is. Like, it's pretty tight right here. It's only in between 35,500 and about 34,000. So very tight EMA range. When there's bigger volatility, these EMAs get, further and further apart. Right now, we did have a green dot, a small green dot on the momentum wave down here. That would have been on the 11th, so yesterday it was. You guys can see it led to kind of a move, but nothing really that huge. We come here and we look at the 4-hour chart. Let's see what it's looking like here according to Market Cipher. 4-hour chart looking very bearish for the 4-hour period we're in right now. It had been on a little bit of an upswing. And guys, the bear market, or the 4-hour chart, is what I was trying to say here. The 4-hour chart, when you look at this, it really, once again, puts it in perspective, like it's just not really doing much. But we are, as you can see, on a clear downtrend. If you go back over here to, what day was this? All the way back to June 29th. I mean, you got some pretty good lines right there. You know, and if you come up here, this is what I was saying last week, it's a little confusing because we're getting higher, or we're getting lower highs. You can see right there, you can see right there, you can see right there, then you can see right there. But yet we're, you know, not getting consistent one way or the other. Like here was a low, then you had a higher low, then you had a lower low. There just doesn't seem to be a lot of consistency in the market. And I honestly believe that this has a lot to do with the fact that what we're seeing right now is just a lot of retail trading right now. We are not seeing the manipulation in the market pushing the market down. When you see big swings, when you see the big spikes in volume to the bear side, that is when you have these people coming in and pushing the prices down. And I'll tell you this, I know there's a lot of people out there that says that, you know, there's no manipulation in the market. It's just buying and selling and blah, 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 blah. That is a bold-faced lie, 100%. Markets have been manipulated since the beginning of time. The only thing you can do, we're not ever going to be able to fight the manipulation in the market. You're not going to be able to, like, oh, if we just only have a blockchain that, you know, you can't have a certain amount of crypto to trade on or whatever. That's not going to work. What you have to do is you have to decipher these moves, and you have to be able to swim with the whales. And that's what we try to teach you how to do on this channel. That's why we are going to crush Digital Currency Group and all of their scams that they're running right now. If you really know what's behind there, let me tell you, it's a shiesty curtain, okay? We're going to show you all that, but guess what we're still going to do? We're going to invest in all the projects they invest in. Why? Just because we expose it and you understand what's happening doesn't mean it's going to change. So that's what we look. Somebody said even Kramer admitted to manipulation 100%. We talked about that on a video last Monday. He admitted that's what they do. So J.R. Proctor saying on the 12-hour chart, there is a new blood diamond. There it is. I mean, there was a blood diamond on the 12-hour chart a couple days ago. Didn't really lead to much. What I like to do is look at these blood diamonds and kind of see their history on the time segment you're looking at. So you got here on the 12-hour. And guys, if you guys want to get access to Market Cipher, you guys can, of course, get that at bitboycrypto.com/deal. This is our first deal right here you can click on. But when you look at those, none of those have really led to gigantic sell-offs. Go ahead.
Just real quick, somebody was asking for the email for the video editing resume again, and that's...
Put it in the chat and pin it.
Yeah, I will. Writing at bitboycrypto.com.
So when you look at the blood diamonds, you know, historically over this run, you look back here, these ones barely even register. Right here, right here, right here. These barely even register. Like, the thing is they've led to drops, which we're in a drop right now. But the thing is, if you look at all the biggest drops, like from here to here, from here to here, all the corrections, all the major corrections, none of the major corrections we got blood diamonds for. Not a single one of them. Look at that. Not a single one of the major corrections. Now, this was kind of a little relief rally that we had back here. And this was about half of that correction we did get a blood diamond for. So I on these larger time frames on Market Cipher, and I actually talked to a coder over the weekend who kind of explained why he thought that was. And I talked to CryptoFace about it last week. And it does seem like on these larger time frames, these blood diamonds and yellow X's are not playing out the same way they do on the 4-hour chart. So that's on the 12-hour chart. And it's weird because on the smaller time frames, on like the 30-second chart or the 1-minute chart, they're not going to be that consistent either. But on these larger time frames, they're also not that consistent. But if you're trading, I mean, you're not really trading the daily chart or the 12-hour chart mostly. I mean, you're probably trading the 4-hour, the 1 hour, the 30 minutes. Those are probably the 3 most common charts to trade, I would believe. So, all right, here we go. Let's get into the news. Guys, check this out. I got a lot of information on what is going on behind this, and, you know, there's going to be a lot going on the rest of this year with the dollar, inflation, deflation. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening. This is phase 1. Now, Wells Fargo shutting down personal lines of credit. What does this mean? Why would they do this? Well, we're going to get into the story, but I'm going to give you the long and the short of it as we get into this to give you the perspective to understand it. Why would banks not give people money? Why would banks not give people money? The simple answer is they want to keep their own money. They don't want to be giving their money out. How does that make sense when we're told that the dollar is worthless and that the dollar is going to be dropping and we're heading to massive inflation? I'm going to tell you, maybe all that's not true. We'll be getting into more of that in a future video, I believe. I got to figure out what I can tell you, what I can't. But I don't think it's shaken out the way we thought it was going to shake out at the beginning of this year. We thought we were going to go through massive inflation. This here is a sign that the banks do not believe that's true. Why would they be trying to keep their own money when we're told we need to be unloading cash? I think we've hit a point here where we're about to see things flip for that dollar index. There's going to be because guys, who gets hurt the most? Who gets hurt the most when the dollar drops? I mean, you can certainly argue that the purchasing power of the individual gets hit, but who's got the most dollars? The banks. They would get hit the worst. So do a little common sense and reasoning on this, and you'll see that the narrative may be flipped on its head here pretty soon. So Wells Fargo has angered many customers by shutting down one of its popular credit products. The bank notified customers who use its personal lines of credit no more money is available to them. People who use that credit offering could borrow up to $100,000 for things like home repairs or consolidate credit card debt. Elizabeth Warren, the banking broad, as you know, not a single Wells Fargo customer should see their credit score suffer just because their bank is restructuring after years of scams and incompetence. Sending out a warning notice simply isn't good enough. Wells Fargo needs to make this right. This is a dog and pony show. I'm sure they're probably a donor of hers in one way or another. Somebody said 100. What does that super chat say?
100K by September since bear market is coming or ...
Yeah, I mean, I believe that is the scenario. That's Ibrahim Dawood. So we'll see what happens with this, but it's so funny when she comes out and talks about banks. You got to understand what Elizabeth Warren does. It's all lip service. Everything that she does is meant to project a certain message, but she's shown consistently over her career as a politician, she will protect the banks. She will protect the banks at all costs. That's what all this crypto regulation stuff is about. Sorry, what is that? It's like a sesame seed. I didn't eat anything sesame seed. I don't know. Good, it's not a poppy seed.
Hacked Phoenix had this question about about Apple buying Bitcoin. Did you see any of that over the weekend?
I saw someone say Apple was definitely not buying Bitcoin.
Yeah, I saw that too.
That was a tweet.
It was a rumor, I guess. I don't know where it first came from. A lot of people were saying, oh, I guess it was supposed to get announced today or early this week or something like that. But then I saw the same thing. A lot of people saying that's definitely not happening. But
yeah. Well, no, I don't think it is happening. We've seen rumors. Okay, when Tesla bought Bitcoin, was there a rumor that they bought it before they bought it? Nope. Nobody had a clue. When there was a rumor that Walmart bought Bitcoin, did they buy Bitcoin? No. When there was a rumor Facebook bought Bitcoin, did they buy Bitcoin? No. When there was a rumor before that Apple bought Bitcoin, did they buy it? No. So I think if you're hearing about these companies buying it, that it's just a rumor and it's probably not going to happen. So somebody said, what was that thing they said? Somebody set up there before. Scroll up a little bit on the left side. Yeah. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Inspector Flex. That's funny. Andrew Mendoza said, banks canceling personal credit because they want peeps to charge credit cards higher APR than personal credit. Look, I don't think that's what's happening here. And the reason would be they have multiple services. Different people are going to sign up for different services. There will be many of those people with the personal credit lines that they do not sign up for a credit card because maybe they just don't want credit. They don't want a credit card. Maybe that had problems with credit cards in the past. I don't really know why someone may or may not. I don't use credit cards. I haven't used credit card in years. Okay. But that's not what this is about. This is about the banks keeping their own money. That's for sure what this is. So, Wells Fargo, close your personal line of credit. Here are some other options. Let's see. Fortunately, there are alternatives for clients looking for ready cash. Homeowners may consider opening a home equity line of credit. Retirement savers could tap a 401k plan loan, and those with certain types of life insurance may be able to borrow against the policy. I don't want to borrow against my own life. We realize change can be inconvenient, especially when customer credit may be impacted, according to a Wells Fargo statement. We are providing a 60-day notice period with a series of reminders before closure, and are committed to helping each customer find a credit solution that fits their needs. Wells Fargo clients can open personal lines of credit at other banks. That's pretty funny. We're kicking you out of here, but just go sign up somewhere else. He says banks do not use their money when they give out loans. They extend credit on a certain level, but there certainly is money that's tied into that as well. The run-up in home prices means a lot of homeowners are sitting on more equity than we've ever seen. We know that that's going up because BlackRock is buying a bunch of stuff. Why is Wells Fargo shutting down all of its credit lines? Wells Fargo, one of the largest banks in the U.S., faced backlash by consumers and policymakers this week over the move. News comes as the financial giant tries to rebuild its image after a major account scandal rocked the organization in 2017. Bank was found to have been pressuring branch workers to open more accounts, leading to over 3.5 million fake accounts between 2002 and 2017. That's hilarious. Yeah. Let's see. Members were noted, whatever, yada, yada. Do you want to say something?
Nope.
Oh, I thought I heard you smack your lips. Guys. Ben, explain why you said in your last video XRP $10 at the end of the year. What about $30? I mean, very simple math for $10. $10 would basically be 3 times the all-time high, which Ethereum got to almost exactly 3 times its previous all-time high. Bitcoin above 3x its all-time high. So when you really about the same percentage above it that Ethereum did as well. You look at Cardano over doubled it. It's easy to see $10 to $12 for XRP. Very easy to see that. Top side could be, $30, but then you start running into math problems. That'd be a $900 billion market cap, almost $1 trillion market cap for XRP, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I think that's right, though. I saw somebody say that in a comment. But you got to understand how these altcoin cycles work, too. So if we get to an altcoin cycle, Bitcoin runs up, people take profits. Ethereum runs up, people take profits. XRP and Cardano would be the next two that money really started flowing into. And so it doesn't have to be like, if the entire market cap was $10 trillion, for instance, let's say, which would be about 4 times, I think. Did it get to 3 trillion this time? It get 2.5 trillion, I know. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't think it cracked 3.
No, I don't think it cracked 3. I don't think so. Maybe 2.7. But that would basically be about 3 times that. And when you start thinking about the way that money flows, Bitcoin will not be at its all-time high the day Ethereum hits its all-time high. Ethereum will not be at its all-time high the day that XRP were to hit its all-time high. They would, or the future all-time high date for this circle, for this cycle. So when you think about the way money flows, I think $30 is possible for XRP for this cycle. Maybe much less than that. I think $10 to $12 is very reasonable to expect. So, okay. All right, here we go. Whale says sector of crypto markets at massive discount issues price warning to fellow traders. This is about the DeFi summer here, boys. We're already starting to see it. I mean, if you look back at the biggest, pumpers over the last 7 days, you'll see Axie, Infinity, NFTs. I mean, that kind of fits in DeFi. Flow, NFTs, same thing. Synthetics, obviously DeFi. Decentraland, obviously DeFi. Harmony, Aave, ZRX, PancakeSwap. So many of these are DeFi projects. XRP moves last in bull runs. I mean, I would say during the last bull run, it ran in the beginning and the end. So, but basically, this article says here, this is from, is this from Crypto Messiah? Is this guy that threw me under the bus for a mistake that we made? I think it is. Well, we'll give him some credit in an article. I definitely think that people are overly excited too soon. If we're going to rally again, historically, if this is the double bubble, then we have months left to go, I think, before we start moving up again. I do think DeFi is at a massive discount. One of the interesting things about DeFi is that DeFi can run when other things aren't. If you looked at DeFi Summer, DeFi was pretty much just running itself. That's true, by itself. Altcoins weren't running with DeFi, or at least at the start of the DeFi Summer. I remember altcoins all kind of went like 2x, and then the DeFi took a stage, and it was DeFi, and that's true over 100%. The analyst sites, Aave is one of the top projects in the DeFi space. Definitely agree with him there. He says traders will likely have ample time to accumulate DeFi assets where the market picks up again. If it is at accumulation range, you will have to buy. And also, if it's not, I highly doubt that it's just going down. And now we're going straight back up to all-time highs. they're going to need to confirm that the bottom is in somehow. You can do that a couple of different ways. You can put in some kind of bottom formation, or can establish some kind of accumulation range. Well, that's a lot of talk about tops and bottoms there. And we don't, like, if you go to Glassnode, for instance, we'll go to Glassnode here, because I don't agree with him on a lot of what he said. I agree with all the stuff he said about DeFi for sure. But if you come over here to Glassnode and you check out the top bottom indicators, we have the Nupal, the stock to flow deflection, MVRV, Z-score, Pule multiple, and reserve risk. 0% of these 5 bottom indicators or top bottom indicators are showing that we topped. 0 out of 5 are showing that we topped out. So I believe there is going to be another run up, and I disagree with him on the timeline as well. I don't think it's going to be several more months. I think if you go back and you look at 2013, here's the thing. People just don't understand these cycles. That's what it boils down to. I hear it all the time. When you look back at the 2013-2014 bull run, there was a much longer period in the middle. I think it was 5 to 6 months. I think it went from April or May to October until it started getting back to all-time highs. But the thing is, the beginning of that bull run, the bear market, was actually much longer than the one in 2017, okay? So when you really look, they had more time to play with during that time to make it happen. And when you look at the Bitcoin golden bull ratio, it tells you how long the market should be. And here's why I'm so adamant that I stick with everything I've said is going to happen. I may be lowering my top end predictions based on really inside information I've got. That's all it boils down to. If you really just study the charts and you look at everything, as long as we get back on the upswing this month, I believe we're still topping out at the end of September. And until those dates pass and we're not where we need to be, there's no reason to amend those. You always go with history until it changes. History, doomed to repeat itself. You hear that over and over again. That's truer in no place more than in the markets. We see cycles with Bitcoin specifically. They're pinpointed. We know exactly how long they should last. And we'll have to see if it holds. It may not hold. But why would you change before you know whether it's going to hold or not? And that's the thing I don't get. When you do that, you are purely speculating. Purely speculating. I'm always going to want to go with history. Like, look, it's kind of like this. You got Trey Mancini tonight going to for the home run derby. We'll talk about the launch. We made CoinDesk. We made CoinDesk. We make fun of CoinDesk. But we were in CoinDesk for that, in a CoinDesk article for that launch. Look, Trey Mancini, he's going to go out there tonight and he's going to hit home runs. He's going to be in the home run derby. Now, will he win? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he'll hit 10 home runs. It's probably 8 to 10 is probably average for a home run derby round, somewhere around there, right? So if you look back at all the history of home run competitors in the home run derby, and let's say the average is 10, how many do you expect him to hit? 8 to 10 to 12 maybe? Now, he could go out there and hit 70. It's possible, right? Like, he could go out there and do it. But there's nothing in the history of Trey Mancini. There's nothing in the history of the home run derby. And there's nothing in the history of baseball to indicate that that kind of feat is going to happen. But it could happen. You're just speculating when you guess really high numbers. You base things on history. We base all of our predictions on numbers, on the cycles, and on history. But I want to point all that out. But there are some other stories here. We got venture arm of Thailand's oldest bank says DeFi will disrupt traditional finance. Duh. We do know that, obviously. Traditional finance is the horse and buggy of finance right now. Or as we like to call it, old-fi. We like to call it old-fi because it's old, real old. DeFi tokens, Aave Synthetics, Thorchain mount bullish rally. We looked at some of those biggest gainers over the last week. Synthetics has been absolutely torching it. One of the best returns in the last month. Let's see here. Synthetics was among the best performers. Aave was right there. I've told you guys for a long time my number 1, number 2 DeFi projects are Aave and Synthetics. Synthetics I'd kind of given up on here for a little bit, but looks like they are coming back, and we sold a little too early on that, it looks like. So we consolidated some stuff, and that was one of the ones we consolidated. I didn't think it was ever going to move, and usually when you get to the point where you don't think it's going to move, that's where it makes its move. All right, so here we go. We got Cardano's Hoskinson joins Ethereum Classic's cooperative board of directors, which is really easy because I feel, or really interesting because I feel like Ethereum Classic is one of these coins that the digital currency group likes to pump. Through Greyscale, they added a bunch of Ethereum Classic. We do know Robinhood. We know what they do with Ethereum Classic there. So really interesting to see someone who's so against manipulation start, joining the joining that board there. So ahead of Ethereum Classic's Magneto hard fork mainnet launch, the cooperative behind the network's development has made some important changes. Organization recently announced its decision to include former Cardano founder and former Ethereum co-founder, Charles Hoskinson, as a member of its board of directors. Hoskinson was a co-founder of the Ethereum blockchain, has been a strong supporter of Ethereum Classic since the hard fork in 2016. Just to briefly, Ethereum Classic is the original Ethereum chain. Crypto Ric Flair, woo! 13K watching, only 5,000 likes. Let's get those up so people hear the truth. Thank you for that. Well, we got 13,000. Good day today.
It's actually 14.
14. Let's get it up. Well, guys, I said 5,000. You broke through that one. I don't like to set new marks for you, but get at least 7,000. Pretty sure of it. TJ, how come you don't like XRP?
That's a big question, but mostly just because a lot of the philosophy and the business practices of the people behind it, kind of how and the way they make their money is a little different than, it doesn't align with what I like to do. But, I don't think, idealistically, it's not the type of world I want to move towards. So it's not something I want to support, but you can still make money with it.
Still make money with it. Somebody said in the chat, Charles, or IOHK, which is Input Output Hong Kong, company behind Cardano's development, that basically they've been behind Ethereum Classic for years, and that's true. So, I wasn't making a connection between digital currency group and Charles Hoskinson. I'm just saying, like, he is just coming on this cooperative board. We know they're doing some sketchy stuff with Ethereum Classic on the digital or on the Grayscale side for sure. If you understand how that works, like, why does digital currency group throw a lot of money into a project that, for all intents and purposes, many of us in crypto have felt like has been dead for about 3 years, okay? Ethereum Classic, even though IOHK does some development just to keep it alive, Ethereum Classic is never going to be a major player in the game. It's just not going to happen. But why do they do this? Why would they pump Ethereum Classic? Well, what they do is they put money in, they pump the price up, and then they sell, and now they can buy the coins they actually want. They're going to be worth more down the road. So it's a big manipulation, pump and dump game that Greyscale runs. So Hoskinson joined the ranks of pre-existing members like digital currency CEO Barry Silbert and ETC veteran Cody Burns, among others. He had previously served as a member of the Ethereum Classic Cooperative's initial advisory board back in 2018. I actually remember him saying some positive stuff about Greyscale when he was on here for an interview. He knows Barry pretty well, I believe. Charles needs a little introduction within the ETC community, yada, yada, yada. Further, the development team behind Hoskinson's brainchild Cardano also formed a team of devs known as the Grothendieck team, who built the client in 2017 specifically for the community. Let's see here. The new Mantis was built to provide unrivaled levels of assurance. We got the Magneto hard fork. I guess this will be a coin. So I wonder when they're going to do the snapshot for that. Because I guess if you own Ethereum Classic, you'll get that. Could be worth something down the road. And here is from the ETC Cooperative. We're excited to welcome Charles Hoskinson. He's a longtime supporter. So, he's kind of the godfather of Ethereum Classic. Vitalik is the face of Ethereum. And, he went on. Ethereum is the new chain that forked from the old chain, which is Ethereum Classic. But the fact is, the reason why IOHK took over the development for Ethereum Classic was because the developers quit. So all the Ethereum Classic developers, they quit. They're like, we're not making money. We're not doing anything. They left. And instead of just letting Ethereum Classic die, because, there's a lot of money on the line, IOHK stepped up. And I would be willing to bet that I think that Charles felt responsible for Ethereum Classic because he was the one that led. If you guys have ever heard this phrase, code is law. It comes from Charles Hoskinson talking about Ethereum versus Ethereum Classic. They rolled back the chain. to, spite some hackers. And Charles was like, that's on y'all. Like, it got hacked. Like, it is what it is. And Vitalik and all the miners and the investors in Ethereum at the time were like, you know what? No, let's go and reverse it because we can reverse it, right? The dangers of centralization. All right, so let's move on to the next story here. Central banks scared. Nigeria's June person-to-person Bitcoin trade volume surged again despite central banks' crypto restrictions. We are seeing restrictions everywhere. What is happening to the price? Absolutely nothing. What is happening to the people, to the crypto enthusiasts? Absolutely nothing. I mean, certain people that got in the top are out, but people that really understand this, like in Nigeria, they know that they don't care what the bank says. The more the banks press against Bitcoin, the more evident its use case is. We got Nigeria's peer-to-peer Bitcoin trade volumes went up to just under 38 million in June of 2021, the latest data shows. The surge becomes only the second time Nigerian P2P traded volumes have reached the 35 million mark in 2021. March 2021 is the only other period when P2P Bitcoin traded volumes nearly surpassed the $38 million mark. In early 2021, the CBN directed the Central Bank of Nigeria, directed financial institutions to stop serving entities involved in crypto. So here we go. We just got, the more you try to prevent people from using it, the more they're going to use it. Think about the war on drugs, right? Has that ever worked? Has that ever worked, the war on drugs? Now, look, I'm not an advocate for drug usage by any stretch of the imagination. I would speak out against that for sure. I've gone through some things myself. But it don't work the way they did it. And I would be really interested to see, like, I don't want a fully libertarian world where, you've got it like it is in Vancouver where people are lining the alleys with needles in their arm because they can't go to jail for it, okay? But I would probably say if you look at the states where, marijuana usage has been legalized, probably, I don't think the numbers have gone up drastically. I mean, the people that moved to Colorado to smoke weed probably moved up at some point. But I don't think it really has that big of an effect. Bitcoin is very similar. The more you try to say don't use it, the more people are going to use it. Because what is Bitcoin against? Government control. You can't enforce more government control to negate the need for, privacy and decentralization. It doesn't work. It doesn't compute. And the people that are running these governments and these banks don't understand that. So let's check out this next story. We got Thailand sees rising adoption of cryptos as a means of payment, warns of risk. We talked about that story a little bit ago. This is kind of a different angle on it. The Thai central bank reiterated its stance that digital payment or digital assets are not legal tender, and it does not support their use as a means of payment of goods and services. The bank detailed that using cryptos as a means of payment leads to both risks for buyers and sellers. This is the World Economic Forum and the IMF talking points, such as price volatility, cyber theft, and money laundering. And by the way, have you guys actually seen this? Have you guys seen this thing? Let's see what it was. It was a cyber hacking event. Let's see what it was here. You guys know what I'm talking about? That is showing up as an event. Was it like a test? They did like a cyber hacking test, a preparation test for a large scale hack, like a black swan event. Now, what's interesting about that is, don't want to get too big into conspiracies and things, but you guys know one of the last times they had a major test about something like this was back in 2019 for a pandemic, if you guys remember. Was that called Event 21 or something like that? I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't get in trouble for saying. Maybe I said it wrong.
It was something like that.
Something like that. And then what happened right after that?
Yeah.
Very interesting, isn't it? So we'll have to see what happens with that thing. If you guys know more, I want to do a video about that, I think, but I also don't want to get the channel deplatformed. So. Parliament of West Africa, economic bloc, cautions against use of cryptos. And let me see, where is Nigeria on the map? Is it in? It's in Central Africa, I believe. That was it. 201. Let's see. Africa or Nigeria location. Here we go. We got Africa here. Yeah, Nigeria. It is kind of West Africa, I guess. If you look at it, they're not central. It is a little bit west. So that big surprise, we got Nigeria and somewhat Western Africa saying don't use crypto. Now we've got the Parliament of the Economic Community of West African States has joined the list of African organizations that have cautioned against the use of cryptos. And I would say this, I would say when it comes to Africa, I would say there's probably, now look, maybe I'm wrong on this, but the way I understand geopolitics, economics, poverty levels in Africa, I would say there's probably no other continent in the world or large collection of countries where the top is further from the bottom, I would say. I would say the people that rule those countries are at the top, and there's a lot of those countries where the people live in absolute poverty. I would say there's no larger collection of places. Now, look, everybody in Africa is not in poverty. There's places that do very well, so don't be mistaken on that. But in a place where you would have the kings and the rulers at the top that have all the money, what motivation do they have to make a more level playing field? Not very much. So very interested to see a lot of these, because we know Bitcoin is going to blow up in Africa for sure. Crypto in general, blockchain, going to blow up in Africa. Largest collection of unbanked people in the world live there. So very interesting. Damon says he doesn't think GBTC Unlock will impact price. I believe the same thing. All right, countdown to Greyscale's big Bitcoin Unlock. 5 things to watch in Bitcoin this week. A decisive month for GBTC market impact is set to begin, with BTC price action still doing everything right to preserve support. This is a story from Cointelelie, as you guys know. Basically, let's see. Here we go. Well, let's talk about the unlock actually first. Where is the unlock? Is it the top or the bottom? Here it is. Okay. Greyscale unlocks 40,000 Bitcoin. An event that is on every Bitcoin market participant's radar this month is in the multiple unlockings of BTC at institutional giant Greyscale. As Cointelelie explained, the Greyscale Bitcoin Fund is due to release in excess of 40,000 Bitcoin in the coming weeks, this having been subject to a 6-month lockup period. Opinions differ about its market impact, and this is what I'm telling you. This is why I believe that we're not going to see a large pump or a large dump come from this. There's not one collective opinion about what's going to happen here. Whereas you look at some of the other major things, let's go with the Coinbase IPO when that launched. Collectively, we knew this was going to lead to a large pump the week that happened, followed by a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of moment where we dropped. Now, did we think that would be the top? Did we think we would see the market drop 50%? No, we certainly didn't. But we all believed it was going to pump leading up and dump afterwards. If you look back at the MicroStrategy conference where they had 1,500 people from Fortune 500 companies come learn about buying Bitcoin for your corporate treasury, we all believed that would pump the price, and it did pump the price all throughout February, along with the Tesla news for sure. But that kind of helped, the rest kind of helped continue that run and to sustain it where we didn't get a large pump and dump after Tesla announced their Bitcoin buy. It was able to sustain the market better. So that's why I don't think we're going to see a massive drop. There's not a collective agreement to where everybody's like, oh, this is definitely going to lead to one way or the other. So opinions differ about its market impact. Some are concerned that selling pressure will increase, only to then become practically zero after the unlockings are over, while others argue that spot markets will be broadly unaffected. Sunday, July 18th, is of particular interest, with that day's unlocking worth just over 16,000 BTC. When GBTC shares unlock and get sold, the GBTC premium drops, which means the share price drops relative to the Bitcoin in the trust, Willie Wu said. Investors now have more incentive to buy GBTC shares rather than BTC. It diverts some of the buying pressure on BTC spot markets. That is bearish. However, there's an argument on the other side as well. There's an argument on the other side saying that there's a reason for people to come into the spot markets to buy Bitcoin to hedge against the possible move here. Jamie Castro says, sell in May, walk away. Well, CryptoFace certainly seemed to know, didn't he? CryptoFace certainly seemed to know. So let's see here. We got more stories on this here. Greyscale Unlock. Bitcoin metric sees, can you move? I can't see the bottom of the, okay. Bitcoin metric sees hell of a bounce and move, which historically heralds BTC price bottom. Which, by the way, have you guys seen? Do you guys know this classic song by Juvenile called "Back Dat As Up"? AZ is how they spell it in the song. Back Dat As Up. You guys know he's got a new version of that song. Have you seen that, TJ? It's called "Vax That Thing Up."
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's called "Vax That Thing Up." You guys look it up. Manny Fresh is in it. It's something. You guys, if you guys want a good kick, just something to make you laugh at how stupid it is and how crazy it is that they remade the song for that, and to see a bunch of like old guys rapping like they were still young, go check that out. You will get a kick out of it, I promise, especially if you liked rap music in the late 90s. Okay. The Pule multiple bounces from its Juvenile had a song named Bounce at one point that I really liked. That's why I thought of that. Pule multiple bounces from its latest rare trip into the buy zone, and previously Bitcoin USD has subsequently put in a macro bottom. This year has to do with the fact that we don't think the market is going to drop because of this GBTC. So what do we have that will make it bounce or go up? A deceptively simple metric, Pule tracks miner behavior with a view to understanding Bitcoin market extremes. Thanks in part to last weekend's record difficulty readjustment, Swift says. Pule is now reversed upwards. If it keeps going, higher prices should logically float. Now, just so you guys know where this is here on Glassnode, this is one of those bottom indicators, top bottom indicators I mentioned. Pule multiple, this is what the chart actually looks like here. You guys can see with every Bitcoin bull run in history, including the two-part bull run from 2013, 2014, we got up into this range here, this red range. Come over here 2017, peak inside the range there. Didn't mean to do that. Let me refresh that real quick. But look at what happened over the recent time. Let me go to the all here. All. Recently, we did not get that. We didn't get anything. We didn't even peek into the red zone. Once again, showing that there's more reason to believe that we were not at the top of the market. But it says here, heck of a bounce into the green zone this week for the Pule multiple, largely down to the difficulty adjustment. Increase in hash rate will be a good sign if we see this. Hash rate continues to climb quickly as Bitcoin miners come back on board. Bitcoin price action is seeing strength as the weekend progresses, something which could nonetheless result in a reversal line with recent short-term trends. Then it goes on to talk a little bit more about the Greyscale Unlock. We just don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So here we go. We got a large investment into Bitcoin here. $2.3 billion Bitcoin buy. Israel Investment Group Fund Group announces multi-billion-dollar BTC investment. That's a strong word, multi-billion. Speaking of billionaires, TJ, did you watch the takeoff of the Virgin Galactic?
I didn't.
Did you know it happened?
I knew it happened. Yeah. I saw everybody talking about it. I just didn't see it.
So got back from church yesterday. Yesterday, and got ready. Went to the NASCAR race. I got a NASCAR shirt I'm going to wear tomorrow.
Oh, by the way, everybody loves the shirt today.
Oh, nice.
Lots of compliments.
It's one of my favorites. I like this one pretty well. But wait until I wear my NASCAR shirt tomorrow. It's something. I got the loudest NASCAR shirt I could possibly find.
And that's pretty loud.
It's very loud. Yeah. It's a very loud shirt. So, anyways, went to NASCAR. But before we left, I went home and I just happened to flip on the TV, and there it was. Are you interested in going into space?
Yeah. I want
250K. Are you down?
I'm down, but what I want to do, so one of my big goals like that was to not just go to space because it seems too easy, because it is just 250K at this. I knew at this, like in my lifetime, it would get really affordable to go to space. Yeah. So my big goal now is I want to step off the aircraft. I want to step either onto a moon or a space station or something. I want to stand on something that's not Earth or the spacecraft.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that at all.
But I'll go up there with you.
I might go. I asked my wife about it. I was like, honey, what do you think? Do you think I should go? And she said, no, you're not going to space. So I said, okay, honey.
I think
my whole job's going to the moon.
Yeah.
I can't go to space.
We have to do it. It'd be fun.
Do you want to do it with me? We'll go.
Yeah, let's go.
So they have 700 people on the Virgin Galactic list, and they said they're going to do hundreds of flights a year. So I was talking about it. I think it'll go from 250,000 down to 100,000 within 2 years.
Yeah.
So 250K. And look, we're not going to be one of the first ones, so it's not going to be like it's going to be that great. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, we're not first. We're not on the...
It'd be great if we could time it up so that we go in like 2024, 2025, like next bull run. So we're like going up summer or late fall of one of those years.
Yeah. Oh, that would be good. That'd be cool. Now, everybody else is getting a Lambo. We're like, wait, we already had the Lambo.
We're
now
on the moon.
going in space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
That'd be
I think
fun.
that's good. So, and I want him to have several flights to make sure it don't blow up. You know, because I'm afraid to fly in small aircrafts. I will never fly on a helicopter again after Kobe died in one. So, I was on a helicopter one time in my life. I'm not big on them. But the interesting thing here is, you know, you're not up there for very long. But, you know, it's a very quick flight. I mean, you watch the whole thing happen. So I don't know what I think about it, but I definitely think maybe in the future I'd be willing to do it. So you're not going to be in the first run, but somebody said virgins in space.
It's pretty funny.
No, it's going to be shocking to y'all. I'm not a virgin. I actually have 3 children. So, you know, I've had sex at least 3 times in my life. Okay. All right. So, sorry, honey. Okay, here we go. Let's get back to the story. Israel Investment Group, the venture capital firm based between Tel Aviv and Beverly Hills, California, shared a tweet. It's part of a portfolio's diversification policy. We've invested $2.3 billion into Bitcoin. It's part of a global strategy to lead Israel to the future of the currency. That was a slip there. Testing begins on digital shekel. We already know this. We already know they've got news coming where they're going to be talking about, or where they're going to be testing the digital shekel on Ethereum's blockchain, the RC20 it should be. An ever-increasing number of countries are looking at the idea of central bank digital currencies. Some are further along than others. Many are still in the research stage, while many others have been recognized in legislation, such as in Ukraine. Others still, such as front-runner China, is in the midst of a pilot program. At the time of the last update, the Chinese private bank, Commerce Bank, had added itself to the pilot. I'll tell you what I've been told about it. I will tell you that I've been told that the CBDC stuff is about to slow down a little bit. China's digital yuan, it looks like it's, you know, a boring yuan fest itself. You know, it isn't really going that well. They're trying to force it on the people that don't really want to use it. So we'll see. I think really what we're going to see is we're going to see a lot of these banks taking about a 5-year period. These central banks. Well, you know, we just had the central bank governors and all the finance ministers from G20 countries, top 20 economic countries in the world, meet. We know that's where the countries, the finance ministers, get their marching orders from the central bank governors. You guys are starting to figure out the way all this works. And it looks like one of those orders has been they're going to slow down on the CBDCs for now. So you hear a lot of news coming out about Ukraine using Stellar and China with its digital yuan, the digital shekel. Look for it to be about 5 years before this stuff really takes off. So I think that's Ben, my sources said Armstrong. That's true. That's true. So, okay, let's move on here. Let's talk about mining and Mancini. We'll talk about Trey Mancini first. I was at the gym this morning. I had to go to the gym early because I got something later, you know, going on. And what happened this morning is I was sitting there on the treadmill, and Trey Mancini's story came on. They were talking all about his story, his survival story with cancer, you know, how they found out he was bleeding internally at spring training. He missed the whole year doing chemotherapy. And even though I had talked to him last week, I was still watching it again. Like, just very inspiring. You know, he's had a great year. He's a lead leaguer. He's one of the league leaders in home runs. That's why he's doing the home run derby contest tonight. So we really enjoyed working with him. This is a story here on CoinDesk. Orioles slugger and cancer survivor Trey Mancini to release NFTs during MLB Home Run Derby. Trey Mancini turning his Home Run Derby appearance into an opportunity to raise money for charity. And yes, it involves NFTs. NFTs will be available on the Eureka platform just before Mancini steps into the batter's box at Denver's Coors Field, to take part in Major League Baseball's All-Star festivities on Monday, July 12th. Drop is extremely important to me. He said in a statement, not only is it my first experience with NFTs, but the cause is near and dear to my heart. This is the way it should be, right? What would the Mile High Club be named in space? Someone said probably space jamming. Why did you make me read that? Why did you make me read that?
It was so funny.
It was very, very funny. But
I said the 1,000-mile hike club, but then he came back with that.
Space Jam is family friendly like us, and you have now, ruined that.
Well,
Which you guys know, guys. You guys know I have 2 rules in life when it comes to fighting. I have 2 rules, only two. Never fight someone who wrestled in college. I will not fight you. I don't care what it is. Now, I'm not about I'm not talking about in a sanctioned boxing match or something. I might do something like that. But do not fight someone who wrestled in college. They will destroy you. Number 2, do not fight anyone that wears Looney Tunes clothing, specifically a Tasmanian devil bandana or a Tweety Bird shirt. They will destroy you. You have no chance. You are not the first person who thought about making fun of them. I promise that. But I will tell you, with the new Space Jam coming out, that might throw that off a little bit. You're going to have a lot of posers wearing Looney Tunes stuff again.
Yeah.
That probably, you could take their lunch. So
a lot of young snowflakes wearing.
Yeah, the Looney Tunes squad. Well, I mean, when LeBron's associated with. Okay. All right, so here we go. Oh, he's probably going to sue us now. Okay, so the Mancini NFTs from CoinDesk here were designed in collaboration with a team at BitBoy Crypto. The Mancini NFTs were, since trades, this is a quote from, who's this? Ben Armstrong from BitBoy Crypto. Since trades NFTs are going directly to charity, this project has a special place in our hearts. We believe that one of the greatest use cases for blockchain is helping people, and this is a great illustration of that. So we certainly love this. There's a 48-hour auction. Let's see, do they have the link to the drop? I know it's on Eureka. You can go to ureqa.com/marketplace. Eureka, that's how you spell it, Ureeqa. It's a project we actually invested in the pre-sale. And they got their NFT drop tonight at 7 p.m. So I hope you guys watch the Home Run Derby tonight just for this. I mean, this guy that survived cancer didn't just hey, he found out he had the stage 1 cancer and they healed it for you and got to, knew it happened. Like, he went through full chemotherapy and everything like that. So we want to support Trey. Seems like just such a great person. I talked to a lot of people, like in my family and friends, over the weekend, that watch the channel, and they all said the same thing. He just seems like the nicest guy. You want to cheer this guy on. So we were glad to take part in this, but this is the way it should, this is all for charity. There's no way anybody can say anything negative about this. He's raising it for colon cancer awareness and the Trey Mancini Foundation. So last story here. Take a look inside this underground crypto mining farm in Ukraine with its 3,800 PlayStations and 5,000 computers. This is a crazy story.
Yeah.
Basically, they all got taken, right? They got taken up by the government there. Mm-hmm. Ukraine police last week seized around 9,000 game consoles and computers in an illegal crypto mine. The mine was stealing as much as $259,000 in electricity each month.
Wow.
Police said it was the largest underground crypto mine to have ever been discovered in Ukraine. A huge underground mining operation has been busted. Police said they seized 5,000 computers and 3,800 games. We already talked about all of that. They also said they seized more than 500 graphic cards, 50 processors, documentation on the site's electricity consumption. I want to find the part in here where they said what they did, because it was so crazy. So basically, here it is. So this is what they did. So to conceal the theft of the electricity, the operators of the mine used electricity meters that did not reflect their actual energy consumption. You guys heard of people that roll back the odometers in cars and stuff like that? That's basically what they were doing. They were just putting out fake electricity usage to make it look like they weren't using a lot. They should have gone to Texas. Yeah, they should have gone to Texas. Does that say PS4s or PS5s?
Probably 4s. There's probably not that many. It'd be
it was
2.
4s?
Yeah.
PS4s, yeah. I'm about to say, don't use the PS5s. I mean, those things need to be, only Mortal Kombat and Madden played on those things. That's what I say. The new Space Jam is going to flop hard. I agree 100% with that. Are they just going to put it on Disney Plus or something, I bet?
Yeah, probably.
Probably be in the theaters. I mean, are theaters totally dead, you guys think?
They're on a lifeline. On the way out.
Here's the only way theaters survive. So he said, "Mad love, Ben, for showing you that Back That Thing Up new remix." I know, it's pretty funny. The only way theaters survive is if they become multi-use event centers.
Yep.
You'll have a few movie theaters, laser tag, maybe mazes, whatever, arcade.
I think they're going to turn them into VR centers. That's the best use I can think of.
VR centers.
Yeah, where you can go in and go on like a quest with 3 or 4 friends, and you have a giant room. You're doing all this VR excursion, and they've got 4 or 5 different rooms, kind of like escape rooms and all that kind of stuff. You could do a lot with it, but you just need a big open space. That's what I would do if I took it over.
Yeah.
I was looking at NCG the other day.
Were you seeing how much it cost to buy it?
I was thinking about it.
That's our local theater here, NCG. The thing is, I really love it. NCG. It's a great theater. They have the one theater that's kind of unattached. That's the big one that's got the rumble seats and everything like it. And I really like how it's all like you get to fill your own popcorn and your own drinks. Big fan of that. Yeah. I love that. You guys like the popcorn salt things, like the seasoning ones, where they got like the white cheddar or the ranch and nacho. I love those things. Those things are so good. So, all right, guys. Well, that's all we got for today. It was a fun show. I kind of don't want to leave you guys. I missed you over the weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed my Elon Musk Dogecoin video yesterday. It's nuts. I know I sound like a crazy person. I don't know if some people, when they talk about things like, I don't know, like frogs. Frogs. When we talk about frogs, silver. Which, by the way, I like Alex. Everything we say is in jest with him, for sure. But, I don't know if he knows he sounds crazy sometimes. Maybe he does. I don't know. I'm not saying he is. I know what I told in that video sounds crazy yesterday. But I also know that it's true. So you guys will find out more about that in, the coming years. I don't think it's all going to come out this week. But I can tell you I had somebody that reached out to me after that video and confirmed some stuff, which I didn't need confirmed. I already knew it was true. But very interesting. Some of this stuff is starting to break out here. So, all right, guys, that's all we got. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a great show today. Be blessed. Good boy out. And good luck. Good luck, Trey Mancini, tonight.